It's just funny to see everybody's responses. Can we start over? Will you start over? I can't.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Unapologetic Files. We are your hosts, Kirsten
and Avery, and we are so excited to kick off episode 2. If you guys haven't listened to episode 1, we talk all about our intentions and things, the goals we're setting for 2022. This is a take 2 on this episode. We started it and then we had to stop it and restart because I think I stuttered like 8 times, and I think it's because I got lip filler last week. And they're still a little swollen, so bear with me today.
They look good though, that's what matters.
And we wanted to start off this episode though by just saying thank you guys so much for all of your support and watching the YouTube video, subscribing, following us on all of our socials, and just your feedback on episode 1. Truly it means everything, and we're so excited for what's to come. Kirsten does have a resource that she wanted to share in regards to episode 1 real quick, just before we jump into episode 2.
Yeah, for sure. So like Avery mentioned, our first episode was all about intentions, and my mom, shout out to Mom, she's actually the one who found this and sent it to me. So basically it's a free download. Yay, we love free things. A free download. So basically when you print it out, it's just kind of like a booklet that you go through, and it starts with just doing a little reflection on your past year, which I think is really good. And there's a little spot where you can write letters to yourself, which I think would be fun to like look back on, and just like a reflection period. And then it goes into all about looking forward, and there's different topics like personal, spiritual, legacy, all that kind of stuff. And then at the end there's a little vision casting. So I printed it out and I did it right away, and I really loved just how it walked you through and made you really think about like the hard questions and stuff, and it was just really good. So it's all about like reflecting and then also moving forward. So
Sweet.
Free download. We'll go ahead and share the link on just all of our socials,
yeah.
Facebook, Instagram. So I encourage you guys all to do that.
We are, I know I am. I'm so excited for episode 2's topic.
Yes, me too.
We're talking about shit we should have learned in school a long time ago. And we sent out that anonymous form.
I love how you
Why?
said that.
I really think it's
That
my
was
lips.
good.
You guys are really
That was good. You said it good. Anonymous. We don't know who said what.
We put out an anonymous form for you guys to fill out. There's going to be an anonymous form after or before every single one of our episodes, just so you guys can join the conversation. And like I said, it's completely anonymous, so we can't see who filled it out. You can't see who filled what out. And you guys will be able to hear some of everybody else's answers in the episodes that we do. So, jumping right in to the first question that we had asked, we asked, what are you learning now in life that you wish you had learned years ago? And it was really neat to see everybody's different opinions. I'm going to read a couple just randomly. Someone said, a small group of close and trustworthy friends is way better than having a big group of friends and being deemed as popular. Quantity over quality, which I totally agree.
That is so good.
I talked about that in episode 1, and I think it's totally true.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one I wanted to mention was that someone wrote, I learned what don't sweat the small things really means. Mm-hmm. And I think that also goes into just having a positive mindset of 2022. I think everybody's in a different stage of life. Kirsten and I are in our 20s, and I feel like it's a really weird age because everybody is like, all of our peers and people we grew up with we're all in different phases of life, whether it be marriage or starting families or
being in college, just graduating, all of that. So
I think like don't sweat the small things and don't put pressure on yourself to feel like you need to have everything figured out right away.
Yeah.
So those are just a couple of responses from question 1.
Okay, moving into question 2. It's what's one thing you learned in high school that you never used again? And this one is funny because literally every answer was math.
And I agree.
Yes, I do too.
I agree.
Yeah. I guess one says how to write an essay in an hour, which is true.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, it was just funny because almost everyone said math and
geometry, algebra, and calculus. If someone said anything having to do with the alphabet and math, I totally agree. Math equations, algebra, sentence diagramming, and then how to write an essay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with
any
you.
math beyond basic algebra.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree.
I agree with that too. Let's move on. I keep touching this computer screen.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Because my computer's touchscreen. I'm using Luke's. And I'm like,
YouTube, you get to see all this behind the scenes, and it's just so fun.
Yeah, you guys, we're on YouTube. If you
Yes.
didn't know. If you want to watch our episodes instead of listening, check out our YouTube channel.
Yes.
Okay, question 3. We asked, rewind 10 years ago in your life, what advice would you give yourself? I loved this question, and I loved reading everybody's responses to this. Someone said, appreciate and be kind to your parents and loved ones. I'm now realizing all the sacrifices and things they did for me that I didn't realize then.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is so true.
It is.
High school, I was terrible in high school.
I know.
I know
you know how many
I
times?
was bad. You guys,
Are we being honest? Nothing off the table,
nothing
right?
off the table. Go.
I just remember.
Roast me right here.
Just having to be sent home because your mom would get so mad at you. And I swear this was like
Kirsten
every other week.
Kirsten needs to go home right now.
And I would just like walk down the street and I could still hear you yelling. So growing up, we lived around the corner. So I just would walk to her house. So yeah, walking like halfway up the street, I still hear Avery yelling.
I put my mom and my dad through hell, so thanks for still loving me.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a really good one.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else said, give yourself grace. I have made so many mistakes in life. I wish I could say, should I bleep it?
Go for it.
I wish I could say fuck them. Life moves on, and though it's hard right now, it all works out. It's easier said than done, but learn how to give yourself grace to get through those situations.
Yes.
Totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
Be kind to yourself was a common one. Don't let others decide for you. Take care of yourself. Get more sleep. You made the right decision getting out of a relationship, just like we said in episode 1.
Yep.
Cut the BS and put yourself first and forward in this new year. So that was a fun one.
Yeah, that was really good. Okay, next question was, what do you wish you had learned before going to college or getting into a career? So a lot of them, it was like money management, how to budget, taxes, all that kind of stuff that you don't get taught in high school.
True.
Yeah, and I go into that a little bit more further into the episode.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
good answers.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
The next one was, think back to your childhood. What are some things that kids are learning or doing nowadays that you would never have done at their age? This one I think is funny.
Yes.
Because a lot of people talk about technology. I think almost every single response was having too much technology. I see kids all the time playing on their iPads and iPhones that are likely under the age of 10. Social media, how do my second graders know TikTok dances and trends? I love it, but there has to be some boundaries, and I think that's such a good point.
Boundaries.
I feel like even myself, sometimes I just need a social media detox.
Yes.
And so it just surprises me that just like what kids know and how they can, get on the iPad and know how to work it and control it and open up all the social media things.
Well, even like the photos where it's like guess their age.
Yeah.
And you're guessing like 25 and they're like 15. I'm like, okay, note to self, don't let my kids be like that.
When we were kids, we were outside.
Oh my gosh, outside.
Playing bakery in my mom's kitchen.
Yes, playing teacher. That was another thing I got sent home for a lot. No, I agree.
It's sad.
I agree.
It is honestly so sad.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, next one is, what's one thing you learned in school that you find valuable now in life? So this one is a lot of responses. Sorry, I had a tickle in my throat. Sorry, I hope that wasn't loud. I kind of forget sometimes that like every little thing's being recorded. Anyways, some responses: work ethic, be kind, there is almost always more than one solution or more than one way to achieve the same solution. That's a good one. Schedules and structure are so important.
So important.
Mm-hmm. I learned how to be efficient with time management. It's valuable now because I'm still in college and high school. Prepared me for how to do that while balancing other stuff in life.
So true. I struggle with work-life balance.
Yeah.
I had a meltdown the other day.
Aww.
Just real life shit right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally had a meltdown. Like, I get home and I cannot shut my brain off sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah, you just
It's a
can't
thing.
shut those thoughts
It's
off.
a thing.
I agree.
Another one real quick on there, it says typing. So true.
Yes.
When you guys were kids, did you ever, like, in elementary school do, what was it, type to learn?
Yes.
And you put
technology.
Yeah.
No. What was the class called?
Yeah, technology.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think so.
Yeah, and it like raced
Yes,
or
and
timed
yes.
you.
And do you remember, like, we had those orange covers that would go over the keyboard so you couldn't see, like, the letters, and you had to type? Kendall, my friend Kendall, in elementary school, always was like
Was
so
it
good at it.
competitive?
She was so fast at it, and I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But I just thought that was a good response because it's something that we kind of take for granted now.
Yeah. No, that's very, very true.
Like writing in cursive.
Oh yeah.
Can you write in cursive?
I'll just confidently say like half and half.
Half the alphabet, I got the other half.
It was a little.
I just think it's why is that not being taught anymore?
No, I
don't
agree.
know. It's just weird.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next one was, what is something that you hope to learn about or learn how to do this year? A couple people said properly taking care of my mental health and coping mechanisms. Totally, totally right there with you. We're going to be talking about some mental health episodes down the line, so stay tuned for that. Somebody talked about learning how to invest. I think I'm already ready to retire, they put.
That's so good, aren't we?
I agree.
Yes.
Use my Cricut. I think that's awesome. So fun. How to put yourself first. How to make money from NFTs. I honestly don't even know what that is. Is that
okay? I think is that the photo thing where you buy the photo? No. So my brother I could totally be wrong. It's where you like buy ownerships of the photos and then like can sell them. But if I'm totally wrong, I so apologize. But
I thought it was some sort of investing.
Okay, yeah, let's go with that too.
But I have no idea either. So
sorry if we're so wrong.
Learning how to snowboard, same. Yes. I know how to ski, but I want to learn how to snowboard too. Stop and smell the flowers, enjoy the little things. I love that. And I want to perfect my Spanish this year. That's awesome. I feel like I was in Spanish for literally 12 years, elementary through middle school through high school, and I think all I know is hola 1 through 10.
Yeah. No, that's a really good one.
You want to hit this next one?
Okay, yeah. So the last question was if you were. Okay, let's try that again. This last one is if you were in charge, what's one thing you would change in the United States educational system? So these were a little bit longer answers. I like this one. More aware of bullying. I think that's a really good one.
Yeah.
This is kind of the same. Respect everyone. No bullying. No cliques. I would get rid of e-learning, aside from the kids that actually sign up for full-time online school. Learning useful things such as taxes, credit scores, learning balance, in all aspects of your life. I have that in my notes for later on in this episode because amen to that. Take away the nonsense classes and bring in everyday life. How to balance a checkbook, do taxes, pay bills. Love that.
100% agree with that.
Agree. Let's see. Teaching things in high school that matter in the real world. Again, budgeting, checkbook. You guys all relatively had the same answers on this. So
somebody said like maintaining a well-being and healthy lifestyle. Totally agree with that too. We're raised on mac and cheese and dino nuggets, so
this one's fun. It says, as a future teacher, we need to prepare kids more for real life situations that they will run into. Yes. I want more teachers like you.
Totally. And then you think about when you have kids, like what do you want your kids to be taught? You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure. So that's fun.
Yeah,
that was
guys
so much fun
for responding.
So much.
Love it, and it's fun and
it's just a good way to kind of see what you guys are reflecting on our episodes and what you guys are liking, and just like getting to know you guys, which is so fun to do in an anonymous form, because the whole point of Unapologetic Files is to be completely unapologetic and to be able to share your thoughts and opinions without being judged.
Judgment, we don't do that here.
So thanks. We're gonna jump in now to
what we said.
Yeah,
what we think. So you can start.
We each wrote down 5 topics on shit we should have learned a long time ago. So I'm gonna start out. My first one, number 1 on the list: how to fold a fitted sheet.
Do you know how to?
I'm so serious.
Do you know how to now?
No.
Okay. I'm like, when you learn, teach me.
I called my mom the other day. I was on the phone with her, and I was like, "Do you know how to fold a fitted sheet?" She was like, "No, I bunch it up, I roll it up, and I shove it in a drawer." And if you know my mom,
that's kind of crazy. She doesn't know.
No. And my mom is a total OCD.
I would have begged $1 million that she would have known how to fold.
I thought so too. Maybe my grandma knows.
Oh, you should
have to reach out to her,
because
I was like, why is this not taught?
No, I totally agree.
I'm sure it's so common. I want to know, how many of you guys do not know how to fold a fitted sheet?
I think it's better to say, how many of you guys do know how to?
Yeah, that's true.
And then you can come to each of our houses and teach us.
I'm putting a poll up on Instagram to ask you guys, because I want to know.
Yes.
So be looking for that, because I want to know the answer.
Me too.
What was your first thing?
Okay, my first one was kind of health related. So it's kind of a bunch of different things under health. But it's how to practice self-care, give self-exams, and
so true.
Yeah, and deal with stress and anxiety.
I love
that. How fun would it be if you had a class in high school that was about self-care, and you just learned all the different ways how you can practice self-care, and then you find like what actually works for you. Yeah, and then like your test or whatever is to like create a routine. But like at least you
practical.
know. Yeah,
it's practical.
And that can totally, like, your routine can change whatever, but at least you know the like basics of self-care. Like I never had self-care in high school. Like, we had the girl nights where you like pamper, like that's the idea of like self-care, but like true self-care, I didn't start actually realizing that I needed that until like college.
Yeah. That's like you need to incorporate it. You need to give yourself 5 to 10 minutes every day. Mm-hmm. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, and then the next one is how to give self-exams. As a woman, how many times are you told, like, you need to be doing that, you should be doing that.
Do your exam this month.
Yeah, but
especially, it's always emphasized around October, of course, which I think is very relevant, but I think, like, that needs to be emphasized
all year round. Yeah, all year round.
It needs to be more important and it needs to be talked about more.
Yeah, and I think it needs to be properly taught, too, when you're young. Yeah. Like, I don't think it needs, like, even before. Before you go to, like, your first appointment or something.
I was going to say, I didn't know how to give myself a breast exam or...
No, I didn't either.
At all before I went to my first gynecologist appointment.
And even then, if it wasn't, like, thoroughly taught, you're just going to forget as you walk out the door. So, I think it'd be good if it was, like, actually made a big deal.
Very good point.
Like everybody else makes it seem, but, you know.
Very good point.
Okay, and then the last one was just dealing with stress and anxiety. So, story time. I think it was it was definitely in high school. I was talking to my mom, and I was like, Mom, I'm feeling this way. Because, like, I started feeling things that I never felt before, but, like, I was never talked about or told exactly, like, what stress or anxiety. I'll go with more anxiety. I think stress is
what
pretty,
it is.
Yeah, common. But, like, anxiety, like, that it's an actual feeling and, like, all this. So I was, like, in the car with my mom one day, and I was like, I'm starting to have, like, these weird feelings around, like, certain people, and just when I start to, like, think about things or whatever. And she was like, she literally looked at me. She was like, oh, no, you have anxiety. But she was so sad, because she's like, she deals with anxiety, and she's like, that's one thing that I, like, never wished any of my kids would get. And she's like, that's what you're experiencing. And I was like, I have anxiety?
It's so common.
Yeah.
It is so common. And if you have anxiety and depression, you are not alone. I promise you. I think we all deal with it. So I think that's a great point.
And that's something, once my mom told me that, it was like when I had conversations with friends or whatever, I'm like, oh, I have anxiety about this. They're like, me too. And I'm like, I'm not the only one. Yeah. You know? Like, it's so common. So anyways, being taught about anxiety, depression, all of that kind of stuff. And then ways to cope with it, and like how to
Good
pinpoint
point.
if you have
Yes.
anxiety, how to pinpoint that, and then
How to deal with
how
it.
to deal with it.
How to manage it. Not necessarily even deal with it, but how to, how to.
And I don't think it's bad to
No.
have that in high school because that's where it all creates.
It is.
High
It's
school
where
is
it
hard.
stands. It
Yeah.
is.
High school
There's-
is
People are mean. Girls
and
are mean.
hard and sad.
It is, yeah. I
So,
totally.
anyways,
those are good ones.
Yeah, I
Those
wish
are
we
really
learned
good
all
ones.
of that because I learned.
I
all
really
of
like
that
that you
now.
touched on the self exam though, because
Yeah, isn't that
that
good?
is, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, for my second one, I put living more sustainably and independently.
Yes.
And the reason I put this is because I feel like in today's day and age, in today's society, we rely so much on like big corporations, big companies to provide for us rather than being able to provide for ourselves. And I think that really stuck out to me the most when COVID hit and all the grocery shelves were gone and people started to panic.
Oh gosh.
You know what I mean? Like everything was gone. And it just makes you realize how much we actually rely on the food industry, the pharmaceutical industry, and just how wrapped up we are in consumerism within the U.S. specifically. I talk about this a little bit in my personal YouTube video, so if you're interested in that kind of stuff, go check out my personal channel. But just to touch on it real quick. I don't know, I just think it's important to go into 2022 with a different realization that like it's important to be able to sustain a life without having to rely on the big box stores. You know what I mean? To learn how to grow your own food and how to cook and clean and learn those basic essential life skills that once were taught and now are not. And I just think it's important.
Do that.
Yeah. So that's what I put
That's a
for
really
my
good
second one. And then I think like it's interesting I took a cultural anthropology class my junior year of high school.
I'm like, whoa, what? They offered that?
My junior year of college, and we studied like the different cultures and how they run as a society and like function. And it was just really interesting to compare those cultures in society in comparison to the U.S. to see like how much we really
I bet that was
rely on.
such an
It was really
eye-opener.
eye-opening. Yeah.
Holy
Yeah. So that's what I put.
Yeah. No, that's really good. And like if you're wanting to do that, I think you have to be really intentional about maybe not running quickly to Walmart when you need something.
Yes.
Or, practicing those little things. Because it all is right at our fingertips.
I'm really diving into it this year.
Yeah.
I just started a vermicomposter.
Yeah.
If you don't know what that is, it's a worm farm. There'd be a worm farmer, guys.
It's going to be so fun to hear about.
No, I really am excited. I want to start a garden this summer, so that's my plan.
Okay, a little fun note. So, side note, I told Zach, Zach's my little brother, and I said, Avery's starting a worm farm. He goes, oh, no way, those are so cool. I was like, I know, right? Isn't that funny?
I thought nobody knew about it because
Zach said that.
when I told my parents I was starting a worm farm,
were they like, huh?
Yeah, my dad was
well, your mom, she wouldn't want the mess.
That's exactly what she said. Are you going to have that in your apartment?
What happens if it spills?
Yeah.
Anyway, Zach said
funny.
that, so I was like, you're so funny.
He's funny. He can come over and
right?
Anytime. You are welcome over, Zach.
Okay, so this next one is just home economics. You kind of just touched on it.
Yeah.
It's just like, why didn't we learn like the little things that are actually big once you like get out on your own or whatever? But like how to sew.
Yeah.
Meal planning, cooking, fixing things around the house. How to write a check. Okay. So, like, I know how to write a check. Story time again. I have a lot of stories.
Yeah.
This one.
No, I want to hear it.
So, I was out with my aunt, and we went to, it was when all the fairs were happening.
Okay.
And we went up to this little vendor, and we checked out or whatever. They were like, we only take cash or check.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I got a checkbook. And I whip it out, and I write the check out, and he was like, wait, what? You know how to write a check? You carry a checkbook? Like, he was just
The
so...
guy that was, like, selling
Yeah.
stuff?
This
What?
guy that was selling this stuff was like, we only take cash or check. And I was like, oh, I have a checkbook. And I whipped it out, and I wrote a check. And he was, like, so in awe and, like, so surprised
That's nice.
And he was, like, 40s or whatever, but he's probably looking at me, like, in my 20s and not thinking I would have a checkbook on me or how. So that just kind of shows, like, also how we're being viewed by others and older people in particular.
The newer generations.
Yeah. So anyways, I
They-
thought if that was taught,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be viewed like that.
I
So-
remember in elementary school, I don't know, who did you have it for, like,
Oh, girl,
4th
I
or
have the
5th
worst
grade?
memory
I think
ever.
it was 4th, maybe 5th. I think it was 5th. 4th or 5th grade.
Brother.
I'm trying to remember. But
For
anyway,
what class?
for just elementary school.
Oh, because
Not
you had
middle
one.
school.
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know?
Thor.
Yeah, Miss Thorpe.
Oh, I thought it was a dude.
That was middle school.
Anyways, don't ask
Okay,
me.
so our teachers did this thing. For those teachers that are listening, maybe you can incorporate this, and maybe this will be a little bit inspirational. Because I thought it was the coolest thing, and it's something that stuck with me. This was, I want to say it was 4th grade,
Okay.
and it stuck with me. The teachers would get, like, prizes, right?
Mhm.
And you would earn money, like, in class by doing, like, good behavior. So you'd earn, like, $10, fake money, obviously.
Monopoly money or something.
Yeah. You'd
Mhm.
earn, like, this money, and then at the end of, like, the year, we would have a big, like, auction. And
I
they would-
remember.
Do you remember this? And there were, like, all of these cool things that we,
I
like, that were
remember.
donated, I'm sure, to the school, different, like, books and like,
Yes.
all these fun toys and stuff.
Mhm.
And then you had to, like, figure out how much you made that year, and you had to write a check. I remember having to, like, write a check
Yes.
for what we wanted to pay for, and, like, that's how we learned, like, how to write a check. And, like, I don't know if you remember that, but
I
it's
remember.
something
I remember
that,
the
like,
auctioning.
yes.
Now that you say it, and the money.
yes,
I remember it.
it, like,
I'm
stuck
not even
with
lying.
me. So I just
Yeah.
thought that was a really neat way to.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. So yeah, just all of the basic stuff. Like, why aren't we taught that anymore? So
Yeah.
I guess that's all things I wish we actually
I
learned.
agree.
But
Okay. Number 3, I put agenda setting within the media. And for me, so I just graduated in December with my bachelor's in media studies communications. And so for 4 years, I studied and learned about how media can portray things to society. And agenda setting is pretty much, it's defined as, like, how it's like the emotion and the portrayal that media puts behind certain things to make you feel a certain way about that topic. And I think that's not something that we're ever taught until you study it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's a lot of people within different degrees, like, that are not communications majors that have no idea. Like, I don't know. I just think the media is a really interesting and like, it's just fascinating to see, especially around the times we're in right now with
how
COVID
big it is.
and how it's constantly talked about and pounded into our heads. And it's just really, really interesting to me within the last couple years to see not only the technology and how much that's grown, but also how that's reflected media's like, interpretation of things.
Yeah.
And it's something that's totally not taught. And this may be, like, totally, like, something you're not interested in. You're just like,
But it's
I don't even watch the
important.
news.
Yeah.
But it is. I think
Well,
it's
even
so
if you don't
important.
watch the news, it's all at our fingertips.
Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
How many things pop up on Facebook?
Mhm.
Articles.
Mhm.
And you click on it and you read it. So
Yeah.
even if you don't watch the news, I think that's a really good point.
I just think it's really important. I learned a lot in my degree about fake news, false news, and I think it's just really important, like, going into the future, that you learn yourself, like, how to do your own research.
Yes.
And base your own opinions, whether your opinion is pro or con or for or against and things like that. That doesn't matter. It's just a matter of whether or not you have the correct information to back your thinking up with.
To form your opinion.
Yeah.
You're not just
Yeah.
relying on somebody
Exactly.
else to form it
Exactly.
for you. I think that's
Yes.
a huge thing to key on, is you're making your own opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's really important to learn,
Mhm.
like, nowadays, but I also think it's really important to teach kids, like,
Well, before
learn how to form your own
something
opinions.
happens. Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. That's really good.
That's what my third one was.
Yeah, that was really good. Teaching kids how to form your own opinion.
Yeah.
And then going back, I think that would help a lot in, like, being judgmental and, like,
Yes.
clicks and stuff. Like, if you're able to form your own opinion, maybe you'd grow
Yeah.
up more accepting of other people's
Yeah.
opinions. So yeah, that was really good.
I agree.
Okay, my next one was finances. So here's
I hate
The
finances.
basic.
I hate that shit.
But it's so essential. And like,
It
so
is.
just like the basics of saving, investing, taxes, budgeting,
Yeah.
all of that stuff, which I know a lot of you guys answered
Yes.
with these things in our anonymous form. So yeah, basically they're also important. I mean, shout out to my mom and dad. They basically taught me all of this.
Yeah.
I mean,
So true. I didn't learn any of my financial
None of it.
information from school.
Not even college. Like,
No.
None of it.
I know.
But we all know what 2b plus yw equals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yeah, so it definitely stood out to me when, like, Carson and I got married, and then he left right away to Korea, and I had to do the whole housing process on my own.
Yeah.
And
I know.
stuff.
I give you
And
so much props for that, girl.
But, like, shout out to my mom, dad, because
Yeah.
they, like, literally held my hand and walked me through every little thing. And still to this day, like, Carson and I have so many questions about taxes. Every time that time rolls around. And it's not even, like, I just want to put this out there. It doesn't don't let it make you feel dumb or stupid if you're like, okay, I don't know any of this.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
we
me.
were never
We
properly taught it.
No.
How are we supposed to know something we were never properly taught? You know?
And, like, I took this is kind of a side note, but I took, I don't remember. It was a, like, financial algebra class in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Or high school, I think it was. And I remember us learning about taxes, but it was literally like a 1 week quick, like,
I don't remember.
here it is. And then the rest of the time we were learning about, like, how algebra went into finances.
So they tried to dip their toes in it, and they were like, no.
Yes. And I took that class. I remember being like, this would be a really good class to take before I graduate. Like, and I didn't learn anything. And now I just submit all my freaking tax information to a lady online, and she tells me what I get back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
Why
I
not?
totally
Yeah.
agree. It's important, so, but we're not taught it, so. Anyways, that was mine.
That was yours?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My fourth one was preparation for moving out on your own. Like, I think we should do a whole episode on this down the line.
I think, we could go on and on.
I think there's a lot that goes into moving out. A lot with mentally.
I was going to say emotionally.
Emotionally being able to separate yourself from, being at home and having your mom make all your meals and make your bed and follow behind you to clean up everything.
Mm-hmm.
I just think, like, why, and that goes back too to, like, economics and learning finances and learning how to be, live a sustainable life on your own.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think, like, preparation for moving out, because I feel like I moved out at 18, and Luke and I moved out together, and we didn't know what the hell we were doing.
Kudos to you.
Didn't know.
You just went for it.
Yeah.
But look, you figured it out.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying.
Of where we have come, but we didn't know anything. We didn't know what
that shouldn't be such like a
worked.
scary thing.
Yes.
Yeah. I agree.
And I'm so grateful that I had, like, the family that I do to support me through it. My mom and my dad to, like, walk me through those things. My grandma was such an influence with us moving out. She really helped us get on our feet. But, like, for the people that maybe don't have don't have parents or somebody that they can look up to through that process, like, it's hard, and I just feel like there's not many resources on, here's what you do.
I know.
Here's how you get out on your feet. Here's how a mortgage works. Things like that.
Amen to that. How does a mortgage work?
You know?
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's what I put for
But,
four.
like, even going back to the emotional side of things. Like,
Yeah.
imagine if we're taught about stress, anxiety, how to deal with it, and then we were taught money, finances, mortgage equals
I think
such a smart
the world
person.
would be so much happier.
Yeah.
The world would be such a better place if those were the things
and
that
nicer.
were. Yeah.
Okay, we're giving the $1 million formula right here that we need. We're going to sell to all the schools to start teaching. We're going to make all the plans. All the lesson plans. Okay, so my last one was, don't put so much pressure on yourself. I feel like this one is another one we could just go on and on about. But one thing, if you're still in high school, listen to this. So high school drama isn't going to matter when you graduate.
Oh, amen.
Or even the next week.
Talk to
or the
anybody.
next year. You know? Yeah. Like that high school drama that you literally feel like your life depends on. I can confidently tell you now, like, it's not going to. Like, yeah, there are traumatic things in high school. I don't like.
And when you're in high school, you feel, there's nowhere for you to go. So obviously you have to deal with it. And high school, like you said before, is a freaking hard
It's hard. And you're gonna possibly go through stuff and like friendships and stuff that like really take you down. Yeah. And stuff like that. But then once you get out of high school and you go through college, and even if you don't go through college, you just have like this like wide eye moment of like,
your brain starts to develop.
Yeah. Once you walk across that high school stage. But anyways, just not putting that pressure on like those little things matter. Didn't someone say that? Like the small things.
Yes. The small thing, yeah. Someone did say that in our responses.
Someone else said this, and you said this in the last episode, was just quality over quantity. I learned that real quick once I graduated high school. So.
Yeah, I get you. Was that topic 4 or topic 5?
This was topic 4. Oh
Did
shoot,
you have
were we
5?
supposed to do 5?
I had 5.
I did 4.
But my 5th one was exactly what you said before. It was just, I wrote down anxiety and depression is not something to be ashamed of because it is so common. So that just ties right back into what you were saying. I think like,
don't be ashamed of it.
Yeah, it's totally common.
Yeah, get the help that you need if you need it. Talk to the people if you have it. If not, message us on Instagram, Facebook. We got you. We'll talk to you all about it.
Yep. Okay, that's everything that I had on my list. That's everything that Kirsten had on her list. So let's talk a little bit about what's to come.
Yeah, guys.
Next
February.
Next episode.
Dun dun dun.
I feel like we need like some sort of disclaimer. Warning. Have you guys ever watched Bailey Sarian? Do you watch Bailey Sarian? What the hell?
No, is that like a show?
She's she has a YouTube channel and she tells like stories of murder mysteries while she does her makeup.
Yes, you showed me her.
She always does a disclaimer. She's like, warning, the following content is for mature audiences.
Can we steal that audio and put it at the beginning
of
ours? Anyways.
But yeah, February's coming. The next episode is going to be all about relationships, a healthy sex life.
Yes.
What else did we have in there?
How to talk about? Spice it up.
How to spice up your relationships.
We're touching on a lot of like the health side of things too. So it's gonna be a good one, and it's definitely one that you're gonna want to tune in for, and also look out for the anonymous form to be a part of the conversation with it.
Yep. The anonymous form is going to have some really fun and very personable questions.
Yes.
But again, it's completely anonymous, so please go and fill it out. The link to fill out that anonymous form is in our bio on Instagram. You just click that and then you click anonymous form for the episode. I put it up on our Facebook, and we'll leave the link in our YouTube channel as well so that you guys can go and fill it out. But again, we can't see any of the responses, and nobody else can see your
response. We can't see
who
did the response.
We can't see it, I promise you guys. And so I really want you guys to get into this because I feel like next episode is going to be so much fun for everybody to join the conversation.
Yes. No parents.
Somewhat of a taboo topic. Nobody talks about their sex life. It's kind of a taboo topic, but we are unapologetic here.
Yeah, nothing's off the table. Here it is.
I'm really looking forward to that episode.
Yes.
Our social medias.
Yes.
Instagram, Facebook and our YouTube is just Unapologetic Files, so you guys can go check out
all of
our content there, any updates, anything like that.
Yep, podcast platforms, Spotify and Apple.
Yep, we are on Apple Podcasts now. So if you downloaded Spotify to listen to it and you prefer Apple Podcasts, we are on that platform now. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, we just want to keep talking.
I know, I could keep talking to you guys
so
forever.
I know.
So fun.
Well, we just want to say again a huge thank you for all the love and support from our first episode. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed it so much, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Yes.
Follow us on everything. Give us feedback. Keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know what episode you guys want to hear about. What kind of topics do you want to hear about?
Yes.
Feel free to just shoot us a message on any of our social medias. We have a list going of all your guys' requests. So we'll just add it to the tally.
Isn't there a song that's out right now that's like...
Yeah.
I don't even
We're both dancing.
Well, I don't even have TikTok. Carson has TikTok, so I
Yes.
just hear it on there all the
Yes.
time. But I'm like,
Yes.
Tally, wait, isn't there a song? Okay. Anyways, well, we love you all so much, and we're so appreciative.
Thank you guys
and,
so much for listening.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys in the next episode.
And talk to you guys later. Okay,
Bye.